Hi, this is Ceema, and I am back with a new lesson on business idioms in use. Let's have a look at the first one, which is a 100-pound gorilla. We all know how a gorilla looks, really huge, and that's where we will apply this idiom now in a professional sense. So in a business sense, what do I mean by a gorilla? Okay, so we know a gorilla is huge, and therefore in a business sense, it's got to be something big, something really big. Therefore, a 100-pound gorilla is nothing but the most established or probably a very large organization. So we're not talking about any company, any organization, but we're talking about a company which is really huge, which has sustained for decades in the market. So companies like Microsoft, companies like Apple. So if I want to, suppose, innovate a new software in my company, which is relatively small, I can say something like, if I have to innovate a new software or a new technology, I'm going to face competition from the 100-pound gorilla like Microsoft or maybe Apple. So a 100-pound gorilla is nothing but a really, really huge and successful company. And then you've got lifts all boats. Okay, where does this idiom come from? Well, idioms really come from experiences that we've already seen, things that we've already witnessed. So when I talk about lifting all boats, I'm talking about a plan or a bailout plan to help somebody. When do you lift all boats in the literal sense? If you've watched the movie Titanic, you will see that in that movie, when people were sinking, they were sending them boats to rescue them, and they were lifting people up in boats. So they were doing nothing but bailing out people or helping people. But when I apply that to a business environment, I talk about helping in a financial crisis. I clearly remember in the year 2008, the aviation industry, suffered a massive downturn economically because there was the global economic recession, and they really lost a lot of money. A lot of them became bankrupt and owed around millions of dollars. So a lot of governments of countries, they kind of came together and started lifting all boats. So what they really did was they bailed out or helped these aviation companies in their financial crisis by helping them with giving them loans and just helping them sustain that financial bad time that they were going through. And then you've got an old hand. Okay, let's look at the phrase old hand. So if I'm looking at old, I'm talking about somebody or something that is really old, something that is not new, it's not recent. It's been in the company or been for a long time. And hand is nothing but something that has to do with something that relates to doing. So an old hand is nothing but a person or a company that has expertise in a specific industry. So you can tell me a lot of old hands yourself. So companies like Microsoft, well, they're an old hand in the software business. Apple is definitely an old hand when technology is concerned. An old hand, as I said, also refers to a person. So you may have, not a lot of you have big businesses, but then there are some of you who have expertise in a particular industry. Well, there are some of you who could be an old hand at gambling, and you're really good at that, so you win a lot of money. Well, good for you. So an old hand refers to nothing but a person or a company that has expertise, that has sustained for a very long time, because they've done their job over and over again, and now they've really gained a lot of knowledge and they really do it to the best that they can. And then you've got at the 11th hour. Well, a lot of people have the problem of doing things at the 11th hour. Well, this idiom is quite self-explanatory. It really means nothing but doing things at the last moment. So a lot of you people like me, we don't file our taxes until the 11th hour. We don't start getting dressed until the 11th hour. We are always wasting time until the 11th hour. We plan things at the 11th hour. So at the 11th hour is nothing but doing things just before the deadline. So we're talking about, in a business sense, we can say that our boss told us to get ready for the presentation at the 11th hour. So you can use this idiom pretty frequently, because a lot of us do things at the 11th hour. And then you have bringing to the table. Okay, what is the idiom bring to the table, remind you of? Okay, you're sitting in a table, and if I'm bringing to the table certain things, what does that talk about? It talks about nothing but bringing everything, or bringing the best. Bringing everything as in the best that one has to offer. Okay, so let's not talk about the business side of it, but if I were to talk about, I'm bringing to the table everything, the best that I have to offer. So I've got guests at home, okay, and I bring to the table the best that I have to offer. So I don't bring them like just a cup of tea, but I give them the best, chicken, everything, I have a gourmet lunch, okay? So I bring to the table, or I bring them everything and the best that I have to offer. Now let's apply that to the business sense. If I want to cut a deal with a company, I am going to bring to the table, I'm going to offer that company the best, as far as manpower is concerned, as far as the work quality is concerned, as far as the time is concerned. I'm going to say that, no, look, my company can give you this thing with just maybe 2 people in 2 days, as opposed to other companies. So I'm going to bring to the table the best I have when I'm proposing a deal with another company. Well, that's it from the lesson, Business Idioms in Use. Well, I'm sure you've had fun and learned a lot. Well, I'll be seeing you with some more lessons, some more idioms, hopefully. Until then, goodbye.